Hey 365ers, here we are again for Friday's functional movement and mobility video. Hope you've had a great week so far. Hope you got something out of my Wednesday's video. If you hadn't had the chance to have a look, go check it out. Just touching on and helping define stability and mobility and how those things apply throughout our body and just help us with everyday movement. Today's video, however, I wanted to just touch base on split squats or lunges. First of all, actually, let me define the difference between those two. So a split squat is you're working exactly the same muscles as you are for a lunge. The lunge, however, is simply the dynamic component of the split squat. So a split squat, I'd just be going down and up without actually lifting that front foot, whereas the lunge, I'd be going to and from, including that dynamic element into the exercise. Same muscles used, execution is the same, just that dynamic component is the difference. That isn't actually what I wanted to talk to you about today's video. Just hang on, Mills, we can play afterwards. Now, with the split squat, I just want to debunk a myth. Sorry, bear with me. Okay, I'm back, nearly sorted. So, with the split squat, now, just your everyday split squat, things I want you to consider. When you're doing it, keep squat width. So, the width in which you would normally squat, mine would be somewhere about here. I want you to come forward at that width, okay? It's important that we get this inner thigh musculature training as well when we're doing this split squat unilateral movement. Again, not what the point of today's video is. So, the typical split squat, you're going down and forward. Yes, you can do perpendicular angles. There's a purpose for both. The biggest thing I hear cued, which isn't wrong, is heel stays down. Heel down, have weight go through the heel as you fall to the floor and push up through the heel as you come up to that first top position. Now, this is correct. However, if you do come down and roll forward, if you're just looking at my front foot there, you'll see that my heel leaves the floor like so. Nearly butt just got in the way. But this isn't wrong. This type of split squat also serves a purpose. So remember, the more we bend our knee, the more we lengthen the quadricep, okay? The more you stretch your muscle, the more you use that muscle, provided it's still under tension and it's still contracting. So in order to elicit more quadricep loading, I would encourage you to go forward. So exhaust your range with the heel grounded. And then in order to bend the knee more, roll on to the ball of the foot and then try and come up from there. So not only are we asking more of the quadricep because we're bending our knee more and lengthening the quadriceps more. In lifting the heel, we're also having the musculature behind our thigh help us less. So it's way more of a demand on the quadricep, okay? What else did I want to say? In doing that, I will let you know stability is compromised. Obviously, there's less surface area of the base of my foot in contact with the ground. You can see that my whole entire foot's in contact with the ground. I've got a more stable base to push up from. I've got more musculature on my side to push up from, so I will be weaker when I lift the heel, but more loading of the quadricep, less help from the musculature behind my thigh and in my butt. But also, like the purpose of this ultimately is to really train the quadricep to contract when the knee is hectic far over the toes. So things when we're like running downhill, and the loadings are quite demanding on the quadriceps in that our knees are going well past our toes. When we're going downstairs, you know, when we've got that dynamic component, you know, it's not just step, step. As soon as that dynamic component comes in and we're running downstairs, the load is more on our knees. So we really need to toughen up and strengthen the quadriceps to help out our knees. So my biggest point is, if you see people, you know, around the gym and they're doing split squats or they're doing lunges and their heel is coming up off the ground, don't automatically assume that they're doing this wrong. You know, there is a purpose behind it. They may well know what they're doing and be intending to do that for the reasons I just suggested. If you're unsure, ask someone at the gym or comment below. You can film yourself having a crack at it. If you do know yourself to be or to have weak knees or issues in and around the knee, this isn't an exercise I would start with. You can, however, regress this exercise. I just bring the floor right up. So again, if you're someone that has problems with your knees, don't be scared to try an exercise like this. You just need to know how to regress the exercise so you're able to do it pain-free, and then work towards trying to do it how I just did it. So for instance, if you are someone that's listening and you want to give this a crack, but you know you've got issues in and around the knee, I'd bring the floor right up. So something as high as this, okay? And you're going about it in the same way. So bringing the floor up, you're just increasing the range of motion, and you're taking significant load off the knee in doing so. So I set up in the same way as I just did on the floor. I'm trying to exhaust my range with my heel down. Once that's exhausted, then try and roll forward onto the ball of the foot and push up from there. If you're going through pain that's saying more than 3 or 4 out of 10, I wouldn't advise doing it. Try going a bit higher. If there's still pain through that, you're going to have to probably do other exercises to get you to this regressed version. One more point on this. I have programmed this for clients before, and I've seen them do it wrong in that they exhaust their range with the heel grounded, and then instead of actually going onto the ball of the foot and going further forward with the knee, from here they just do a calf raise. So that's not right. That's what you want. And then push up from the ball of the foot, from the bottom there. All right, that's me done today. Happy Friday, happy weekend. Say bye, Niels. Say ciao. Ciao, everyone. Have a great weekend, team. I'll see you next week.